2025 jury. He commended the Commandant General, Professor Ahmed Aidi, for prioritizing training across all cadres, noting that the initiative has improved staff performance nationwide.
This particular retreat, which is the 2025 Junior Staff Retreat, is packaged for the junior cadre of our personnel in security service delivery, and it promises to be a game changer.
Understanding of core NSCDC operations and officers, while the host officer, SC Valentine Onaga, described the retreat.
Today, you will be impacted on a whole lot that pertains to NSCDC. To whom much is given, adhere to all that will be impacted on you.
And then
to encourage us to cool down and
7 divisions and 7 area commands are participating in the 2-day retreat themed Capacity Building and Empowerment, Keys to Excellence in Security Service Delivery. Aneke TV.
Okay, dear viewer, thanks for joining us again on your favorite program, The Arena, coming to you on Aneke Television. My name is Chris Anibogo. Thanking you for being part of today's conversation. Yes, I don't know if you've been following the turn of events. In recent months, the National Assembly has renewed their push towards creating a new state, either between a normal state or a TT states, whichever way, for the Southeast geopolitical zone. And this has actually reignited conversations about justice, equity, and the structure of Nigeria's federalism. We want to look at state creation. What really do the people want? That's what we're looking at on the show today. And to help us do justice to this matter, we have the spokesman for Coalition, Justice, Equity, and Good Governance, Barrister Peter Aja. It's a pleasure to have you in our studio, sir.
Pleasure is mine.
You're welcome, sir. So I don't know, there is a write-up of yours which is trending everywhere on this issue of the quest for equity, the imperative of a 6th state for the southeast zone of Nigeria. I happen to have come across it, and it made quite a lot of sense. But then I want us to speak to this matter of state creation for the southeast. Are we looking at an additional state for the southeast geopolitical zone? Are we talking about a state for Ndigbo? Which is it for you, sir? Before we go to other issues in the matter.
Okay, thank you so much. The first thing we need to understand is the beginning of the evolution of state creation in Nigeria. If you look backwards, you know that in 1960, during 1960, when we got our independence, Nigeria had just about 2 regions. That is the North
And the South.
and the South. Now, after that, 1963, we had 3 regions. The Midwest, which is Edo, the old Edo.
That's
and
the old Bender.
The old Bender, yes. The old Bender, which comprised of Edo and Delta. Now, after 1967, we also had the evolution of states. Yakubu Gowon, because of the issue of the Civil War, Yakubu Gowon now decided to abolish everything called region and now created 12 states. That is how states started emerging. And from there, we now got to where we are now, 36 states. And in that 36 states, Nigeria is also created into 6 regions, geopolitical zones. And in that 3 geopolitical zones, the only region, only zone that has 5 states is Southeast.
That's lesser states now.
Lesser states. While others, we are enjoying 6 states and 7 states. Southeast was left, is still 5 states. And that gave rise to the clamor. We've been shouting, the Southeast has been shouting that they are being marginalized structurally, that they need additional states. At least let us be at par with those that are 6 states in number. That is the genesis of the agitation. Now, a few months ago, the National Assembly now met in their retreat. Coming out of the retreat now said they've resolved that they are going to add 1 more state. They are going to create 1 more state in the Southeast. So, and the creation of that 1 state is to address the agitation, the clamor for additional states, the agitation that has been coming from the Southeast geopolitical zone. And that was why they say they are going to create 1 additional state for the Southeast. Now, it is very, very clear. The word they use is Southeast. They never they never said they want to create a state for the Igbo region or Igbo ethnic nationality, but they want to create 1 state additionally in the Southeast to make it 6. And that's the beginning of all this. But where we had problem was the pronouncement, because the National Assembly, instead of saying they will create, probably, if they want to bring 2 for us to choose, they would have said they are going to create, consider either Ada and Etiti. But instead of saying that, they said they are going to create Etiti or Anioma. That brings a very big problem, a very big...
So why is that a big problem?
Because you said you want to create a state in the Southeast, and you left the area called Southeast, and you want to create in another area called the South-South. Because Anioma, everybody constitutionally is in the South-South. It's not in the Southeast. And we've not been clamoring for additional states that we want state from anywhere. That you can just go and create a state from Katsina and say, okay, add it in the Southeast. That's not what we are saying. We are saying that we have the number. We have the everything that is required to have 6 states, and not that we are begging you should borrow some people so that we'll be at par with other people who are 6. That is the contradiction from the decision of the National Assembly. And that is why it is important that we clear this. If you are creating a state in the Southeast, that state must be in the Southeast, not in the Southwest or Southeast or South-South or North. It must be within the Southeast.
Okay, let's look at it clearly from this other angle now. When we say an additional state for the Southeast, the Anioma state that is also popping up, it's a gathering of Igbo people who are residing, or rather who are located in Delta State.
Yes.
So if Anioma State is going to be carved out from Delta State, would it not make sense if the state is now added up to
the Southeast?
To the Southeast?
Okay, now, see the problem.
Because is state now about a location, or is it about the people?
Okay, now, see the problem. The problem is that it will create, if you want to create Anioma, you see that you cannot do it.
How?
Because for you to create Anioma out of the South-South, it will have another constitutional issue, which is boundary adjustment. You are now going outside the Southeast, going into another geopolitical zone. So there must be a constitutional realignment. Now, another problem that will come up is that for you to create a state, there must be what we call referendum.
Okay.
There must be a referendum. That referendum entails that for you to create an Anioma for the Southeast, it means you must have 2/3 from Enugu. You also have 2/3 from Imo, Abia, and other southeastern
states.
Then you also go to Delta, and you also conduct a referendum, because you are creating them out from that region again. You also go and conduct another referendum there. But if you are talking about ATT, the only place you conduct a referendum is within the southeast. Because for you to create a state, there must be a referendum. It's a constitutional provision. There must be a referendum. And to show that the people you are creating, the area you are creating the state from, the people that state creation will affect, they must give their voice. Yes, we want the creation of this state. So and let me even tell you, there's no way Delta State will vote in support of Anioma. They will not do that, because the question is that remove Anioma from Delta State, Delta is gone.
Gone in what sense?
It is in Anioma that you have the main oil, and that is the target. Once you remove Anioma, that is where you have all this, the greatest number of oil wells.
Wait, I beg your pardon. The last time I checked, Delta States, we understand, is a coming together of different ethnic nationalities.
Okay.
We have the Urhobos, we have the Ishakiris, the Isokos, the Ijos are there as well. Then before we talk about the Igbo ethnic nationality, Asaba being the capital base of the state, Ogwashuku, Iseluku, Ila, and the rest of them, the list is actually lengthy. But we begin to see where crises begin to erupt majorly, between the Urhobos and the Ijos, or between the Urhobos and the Shakiris. And we begin to think that that is where you have the oil domiciled, and not maybe in the northern part where you have the Igbo-speaking part.
Chris,
are you trying to say that?
No, Chris, let me tell you. Chris, let me tell you. You see, the argument, those people who are saying that Anioma should be created, their main argument is hinged on the viability of Anioma.
Okay.
The viability. That if you bring Anioma into the southeast, that they are viable. They have the mineral resources to sustain. That is the argument, what they are arguing. Now, based on that, there's no other thing they are looking at. They are looking at their oil. They are looking at the water.
Okay.
They say that if you create them, that the oil will come. They are saying that Igbo or the southeast is landlocked.
It's landlocked.
Yes, that
so
with them,
we now have waterway.
Exactly, that's the argument. But it is beyond that. Creation of a state is a constitutional matter. If you don't meet up with the constitutional provision, forget it, you are not going to get that state. You are not going to get it. In fact, this is the closest we have gotten to creation of states.
Yeah, we'll come to that point, because we know that it begins to look like it's a very difficult task for any civilian, democratically elected government to actually embark on such a venture. The states which you have listed out that have been created in the country were done by the military.
Yes.
I think this is the first time we're seeing a civilian government make an attempt. We'll come to that issue. But what we're looking at again now is, if we look at proximity, you talked about boundary adjustment. If you look at proximity, Asaba, which is the capital of Delta State, the distance between Onitsha, which is in Anambra State in the southeast, to Asaba, it's just across the river,
Bridge,
which may not take more than 2-3 minutes.
Yes.
But when you travel from Asaba to a place like Warri in Delta State, to a place like Ughelli, to a place like Efron or even Sapele in Delta, it takes hours.
Yes.
So will it not be easier saying, okay, we're carving out Asaba and these environs as an Anioma state to belong to the southeast, and let the other ethnic nationalities in Delta beyond there, maybe probably will now push the capital base of Delta to maybe Warri, Efron, Sapele or somewhere else.
Okay, now you Okay, I don't intend answering your question. I don't intend answering.
No, you go ahead and
I know.
We're having a conversation.
I don't intend answering your question, but
Because we want to get to the roots of what really do we want.
Yes, let me now come. This argument should be tied to the possibility of creating the state.
The possibility.
The possibility of creating that state first.
Okay.
If you don't consider the possibility, then you are just joking around. The reason is simple. No matter how plausible, no matter how commendable or how fine or it may sound or it may look that you create this place and add to the southeast, it will make the southeast wealthy and so on. No matter how you discuss it, if it is not possible, if it is not constitutionally possible, then you are just beating around the bush. I'm telling you,
go ahead,
that for you to go and say you are creating a Neoma under this discussion, the resolution of the National Assembly, that it is not possible because they are not going to meet up with the constitutional provision. It is not all about saying, it is not military. You just stand up and say it's created, and you must meet up with the constitutional provision. The constitution, the draftsmen deliberately made it very, very difficult for civilians to create states.
It's a deliberate
act. So if not that, if it's military, they can stand up and create anything. But the constitution made it so difficult. And that is why I'm telling you, this is the closest we have gotten to. And it seems possible now. For the fact that about 98% of the senators are saying, give the Southeast one more state. It is like a done deal. It is closest to the other period, before now. What they used to do is at the committee level, they will kill because they will not see the possibility of creating that state and they will abandon it. So this is the first time we are getting close to this. And if we don't unite, the basic thing is to know who are they trying to create the state for.
Okay.
If they are trying to create the state for the Igbos, fine and good. I can say, okay, create one in Delta, that is Anioma. Go to Benue, create one because we have Igbos there.
Igbos in Benue?
Go to Kogi. We have Igbos. I think I've gone to a place speaking Igbo in Kogi. Yes, I have been there. Go to Rivers and create those ones too. We have no problem. We are not saying they are not our brothers and our sisters. Yes, we are. And there's something that is supposed to take care of that one. And that is the Ohaneze Ndigbo. Of course, you know that today, the president of Ohaneze Ndigbo is from Rivers.
That's right.
So, and the other time, the president was from Delta. We have no problem calling them our brothers and our sisters. But let's call a spade a spade. What the National Assembly says they want to do is to create an additional state for the Southeast.
So where's the issue of an Neoma state coming from there?
That is the unfortunately the confusion that came from the pronouncement of the National Assembly members, because they wouldn't have just said they are creating an Etiti state, and that will settle it. Or there are other people agitating for state creation within the Southeast. We still have Adada. They would have said, okay, Adada, choose between Adada and Etiti. And it will be a good, a balanced discussion. But for you to say you are creating one state for the Southeast, and you say we are either creating Etiti, or we are creating a Katsina, or we are creating Sokoto, or we are creating carving out some local governments in Edo, and they are going to add them in the Southeast, it's unreasonable. Because it is clear that Anioma is of South-South, they are South-South. So you cannot create them and now say you are creating for the Southeast. We know the states that are Southeast. There are 5. They are and even the Constitution made it clear, even the National Assembly made it clear, why we are creating this is to balance these people. And you left the 5 states and you wanted to go and create it from another place. That is, it cannot happen within the framework of our Constitution.
All right, now, so it is clear. What the people want is a state for the Southeast.
In
from
the Southeast.
the Southeast.
Sure.
Not necessarily for the Igbos,
not for the Igbos.
wherever they may be.
Yes.
Because I know part of the other debate may be that the southeastern people are predominantly Igbo people. So what?
And nothing stops us. Nothing stops us from recognizing other Igbos in another zone.
So that's
we'll continue to recognize them.
Cultural basis.
Yes.
Not on political terms.
Yes.
Now. All right. So one more state for the southeastern people in the southeast or from the southeast. All right. So that's clearly understood. But then, why is this additional state very important?
Okay. The
one more state for the southeast to make it 6. Is it just for equity, for justice, for fairness? I mean, why must there be an additional state?
Well, Chris, you answered the question already. You said, but my problem is that,
just on that premise?
my problem is that you said, is it just for? Well, if justice, equity, and fairness is just, is regarded as just.
Is that just?
If it is just, then I will be happy to say it's just for equity.
Is it on that grounds?
It's just for equity, it's just for justice, and it's just for fairness. Because what I'm saying is because if you go to the Northwest,
yes,
that has 7 states, of course, it automatically means, by the provision of the Constitution, it automatically means 7 ministers, not less than 7 ministers for the Northwest. Ambassadorial, of course, they will get based on the number of states they have. Agencies, the capital, the development is having a state capital. Of course, you know what it means. So it is for justice, it is for equity. It means more employment.
So it goes beyond the number.
It's not the issue of number. Number is just, it's not number. It's because they are using it to reduce our voice in the National Assembly. They are using it to marginalize us on infrastructural development. They're also using it to marginalize us on capacity, every area of life. They are using it to marginalize. And that is why we've been agitating. Equalize us with other geopolitical zones. Consider what we used to have, North and South. North, South, Midwest, and North, South, West. That's what we used to have.
North, East, West.
North, South, West.
No, North, East, West.
What do you mean? No.
We have the northern region, we have the eastern region, we have the western region.
Yes, that is exactly what we used to have. North, East, sorry, I was
North,
not
East,
West. That is exactly what we used to have. So three zones. So at that time, we are par with the North. Only the South is, we are par with the North. And that was what brought about the agitation from the North. And that agitation was properly addressed. And there was balance. And we are now agitating. Balance, at least give us that sense that we are still part of the Federation by at least giving us 1 state. And now you are talking about giving us 1 state, and you are still bringing another geopolitical zone
into the matter. So in critical terms, Barrister Peter Ajayi, let's all really understand, what will an additional 6th states mean for the Southeast?
I've enumerated them.
We want to look at them specifically.
Okay. It means 1 more state capital. Do I start telling you what a state capital means? It means you have more agencies of government.
You know why I ask you this
question?
have
more, you create more job opportunities.
I want you to understand why I'm asking this question. Yes. Because for some other person sitting on some side of the fence, for them, what has the other states in the first place even done for us in the first place? We should be looking at good governance. If the 5 states we have are meaningful enough, they should have been able to, bring the people closer to whatever they need from government. So what difference will it make if you are having an additional state? So that's why I want us to be specific.
Yes, correct.
What really would this 6 state mean for the Southeast?
Let me itemize them.
Go ahead, sir.
I said, 1 more state means at least one more minister for the states.
Okay.
Additional minister for the state.
Because every state is entitled to
a minister, at least a minister. You may have more, but you must have 1.
Okay.
It also means more federal agencies.
Domiciled in the state.
Domiciled in the state. It also means more allocation. When they divide, they are sharing allocation. They share it based on states and local governments. So it also means more allocation coming to the region. It means more ambassadorial appointments, diplomats. You get them from that state. As you can now imagine. You remember when Ebonyi was part of Enugu. Now we have Ebonyi State, and we have the capital in Abakaliki. Go to Abakaliki today. Abakaliki won't have smelled at least one. You won't even be talking about Abakaliki. Abakaliki would have been a village up to this hour, if not for the state capital. So giving us one additional state means bringing development, bringing infrastructure, bringing empowerment closer to the people. It means a lot. It means the world for us.
It means the world for us. And maybe possibly also we could include an additional state to bring in an extra governor.
Yeah, we can't even, we are just starting. If we start enumerating what it will give to us, no, we won't close here today.
More political offices.
Yes.
And all of that. What about the viability? Are we looking at the viability of states now? Barrister Peter Aja, you are learned. The structure of our federal system in Nigeria, is it not problematic? Is it not a problem?
Okay, you asked two questions in one. The first is the viability of the state.
Viability.
Now, unfortunately...
Because states are supposed to be productive.
Productive. Unfortunately, the Constitution never discussed viability. There's nowhere in the Constitution that told us this place must be viable to be a state.
Economically.
It is important. It is important to be there, but it's not there. It's not there.
So is that not a lacuna?
If it is a lacuna, it will continue to remain a lacuna until you get that extra state.
So,
now, apart from that, having said that, the viability of entity is assured.
The viability of entity.
The viability of any state is dependent on those people who are administering that state. Let me tell you this.
Right, sir.
When before now, the current governor of Enugu State, when he was campaigning, he said he wants to raise the GDP, right, of Enugu State from $4 billion to $30 billion. That's
right.
Now, watch what is going on in Enugu, the transformation, everything. He started by revamping those moribund, those abandoned, dilapidated, like presidential hotel, all those things, so that those things should start generating revenue. You see, a few years ago, if somebody would tell me that ICC will start functional within a conference center will start functional within a space of time, I would tell that person to go and have his head rechecked. But the incumbent governor surprised everybody, told us that it is possible. It is so the viability of any state. Go to I know about the Jews, Israel. You see, go there. If there is no rain, the administrators knows how to go about it and still farm at any given time.
Off-season.
Even in the desert, they will turn desert too. So the viability of any state depends on the administrators of that state.
Depends on the administrators of that state.
Nigeria is rated very poor, despite all the mineral resources, everything. So it depends totally on the administrators of that. Yes.
All right, that's what we're going to pause it because we want to go on this quick break. When we return, we'll take up with you where you stopped, the viability of a TT state. Okay. So let's look at the viability. So don't go away there, viewer. We'll be right back. Okay, there you are. You're welcome back to the show. Yes, we see Barrister Peter Aja with us here. He's the spokesman, Coalition for Justice, Equity, and Good Governance, talking to us on state creation. What really do the people want? So back to you, Barrister Aja. Yes, before we went on that break, you're talking to us on the viability of states, how important and necessary. But you said it's dependent on the managers of such a state to make their domain economically viable. And now that the National Assembly is placing much emphasis on a Etiti state or a Anioma state, let's look at Etiti state, which you seem to be defending. How viable is Etiti?
Okay, now...
And where is Etiti even supposed to be coming out from?
Okay, now, the my position now on the creation of state is that within the context of our agitation, Anioma shouldn't even be mentioned.
Anioma
shouldn't even be mentioned in the first instance. However, they have mentioned it, and we are trying to clear the air that Anioma is of the south. Maybe when they were saying it, they have forgotten. Now, having said that, I said the progress or otherwise of any state, the viability, economic viability of any state is totally dependent on the managers of that state. However, it's not as if they will do miracle. There must be some indices, some things, enablers. There must be things that you look up to, and you say this state will be viable or will not be viable. For instance, the Anioma people are saying we have oil. You must not have oil to be viable.
Okay.
You must not have oil. If you have land, you have it all. And in Etiti, you have land. In fact, you know, Aniri is in Etiti.
So could you give us the area covering this
yes,
proposed Etiti state?
Yes, the Etiti cover is from the 5 states of the southeast. From Enugu, for instance, in Enugu, Aniri is there, Oji River, and Ogun. Then you go to Abia, you go to Ebonyi. If you go to Ebonyi, you have Ivo, you have all those areas around there, part of the Etiti. You go to Imo. In fact, Imo is contributing up to 7 states to the Etiti.
7
local governments, sorry. 7 local governments to the Etiti. Then you go to Abia. So all the 5 states of the southeast, each state contributes some local governments to make up that Etiti. And coming from all those places, there's no particular place you go and you won't see something that will make a state viable. Starting from Aniri, that you see, talk about food in Enugu State. You cannot discuss agriculture in Enugu State without talking about Aniri. There's no way you can do that. Then you go to other places. There's no particular local government you come and you will not see a particular thing that will make that. It depends on the managers of that state, and it will be very, very viable. The people, the human capacity, the people from those local governments are the timbers and calibers, those people who are shaking the country, giving the country the air to breathe. They are from those areas. So it's viable. Yes, it's viable.
Okay, so Etiti is for you and this is viable. But again, are we putting this into consideration? That by the time we take out of the existing states some local governments, for instance, let's use Enugu, since the makeup of Etiti state will be a conglomeration of different local government areas taken out from the 5 southeastern states to make up Etiti state. Yeah. So if we should do that, would that not further reduce the number of local governments in these other states? For instance, Enugu is having 17 local governments.
Chris, how many local governments do we have in Bayelsa?
If in Enugu you're taking out Aniri, Ogo,
and Oji River,
that's 3.
Yes.
So 17 minus 3 is 14. Leaving us with 14.
Yes. Bayelsa is how many local governments?
Bayelsa, well,
Bayelsa is no more than 8 local governments. And it's a state.
Is that the best?
But it's a state. I'm saying it's a state. 8. And we are talking about Enugu remaining 14. Imo State is how many local governments? 27.
Imo is 27.
And you remove 7. There's still 20.
Anambra is 21.
And so
Ebonyi is 13. Ebonyi should be 13.
if you remove, I think 2 or 3, I don't know.
From Ebonyi.
Yes, they are still far above some states. So there is nothing that, and you see, just that we don't have accurate census in Nigeria. We don't have accurate census. The population of the Southeast, maybe that one will be for another day. The population of the Igbos, of the Southeast extraction, people are thinking that we are small. But I bet anybody that Igbo has the greatest number of population in this country. In all the ethnic nationalities.
More than the House of Fulanis?
All the ethnic nationalities. Go to Lagos. Apart from the indigens, the next in population is the Southeast, is the Igbos.
The Igbos?
Yes. Go to the north, any part of the north. The next in population is the Igbos. Come to any state in the Southeast. Which other population is there?
So after the population of the indigenous people,
yes,
then the next you get
apart from in Nigeria, go outside. You say that of every 5 black, one must be every what do you call it? 5 black people, that one must be a Nigerian, right?
In the diaspora.
In the diaspora. In that 5, one must be Igbo. Anywhere, any part of the world. And you are telling me that we are small in population. That person must be joking.
All right, that will be a topic for another
day. Yes.
All right, so for you now, a TT state under contention, under proposal is viable enough to stand.
Sure.
And it's not going to disrupt the already existing number of local governments.
It will disrupt, but positively. It will disrupt, but positively. There's no negative disruption.
Is there the possibility of the National Assembly, I'm just asking,
yes,
of giving a second thought, of balancing also the number of local government systems we have in Nigeria? Because if we're talking about inequality of states, that the Southeast just has only 5 states, now we want to balance with 1 more. A state like Kano has 44 local government areas. And if we bring the whole totality of the local government areas in the entire Southeast, it's less than 44.
Yes. Chris, even though we don't have...
What's the possibility of balancing also the local government, the number of local governments?
If you ask me...
In the various states in the country.
If you ask me,
Go ahead.
It is unnecessary. What we need in this country today is true federalism. True federalism. True federalism will take care of all those things.
You know, it was part of the question I asked you earlier on about our federal structure.
Yes. So what I subscribe to is true federalism. With true federalism, you to take care of all those things. Each state create the number of local governments you can manage. It's either we go for true federalism or we go back to regional government. For instance, if you go to Canada, they are operating a federal system. But each area...
As well as the United States.
Yes. Each area is semi-autonomous. Those regions will only pay tax to the federal government for them to do those things within their that are considered exclusive matters.
Okay.
Defense, currency, and so on. But each region, they will develop according to their own strength. That will take care of that. But for you to come and say, there's no way Nigeria will say, we are going to, okay, let's come
balance
and reduce
the number
for
of
sure, they will not.
Because also, too, there is inequality, imbalance, because each of the local governments receives allocation as well,
yes,
for their own development. So if a state like Kano with 44 local governments is receiving allocation, that means 44.
Yes, now.
Do you understand what I mean? Whereas I think that was even the basis for the problem that erupted between Lagos State government under Bola Ahmed Tinubu as governor.
Yes.
And the federal government under former President Olusegun Obasanjo as president.
Yes.
Where that issue came up. Well, if you say we shouldn't look towards that angle, it's all about just the additional state for the Southeast.
That is exactly what we are discussing today.
Okay, now before we go, how possible is it to create a state?
No,
How possible?
For me,
Aren't there going to be hurdles?
yes,
Perceived hurdles.
there is hurdles, but at this stage, there are surmountable hurdles.
There are some answers.
If only we unite ourselves. But if we start playing politics, sentiment, bringing sentiment, then there's no way we'll get there. The only thing that the Southeast needs now is unity. Once they are united, they will give, under the referendum, they will support the creation of states. Under the state houses of assembly, they will get it. Under the National Assembly, 2/3 and so on, they will also get it. These are the hurdles that are still waiting. But as I said earlier, this is the closest we have gotten to creation of state by the civilian. And if Mr. President can succeed in creating this state, he has carved a name for himself in history.
If he succeeds, the big question is, can he succeed? Because from what you just stated, it was an intentional act in the Constitution to make it a very, very difficult task for a civilian government to create states in Nigeria. Now we need to pass through to third majority of the various states, houses of assembly.
Yes.
To give their nod.
And the referendum too. These are difficult, stringent measures deliberately added in the Constitution so that people won't just stand up and start creating states. It's deliberate.
So maybe...
But it's near impossible, but it's still possible.
It's still possible.
Yes.
And you think there is intentionality by this government to do this?
For sure.
Or are they just playing politics?
No, for the National Assembly to secure up to 98% in support, they are serious.
So it's not politics?
It's not politics. For them to have secured 90, that's very, very serious. And I think if they want to do it, they will do it. And I'm sure, I hope, that after this rigorous exercise, the president will give assent to it.
He will give assent. Yeah. So if we disqualify Anioma State, that's giving a TT State a powerful nod.
Yes, I'm not just giving them a powerful nod. There's no way you present a TT and Enugu won't support it. And because
when you say Enugu supporting it,
yes,
I hope you know that there is the other push too for Adada State from the Nsukka part of Enugu State.
Yes, Chris, see what the National Assembly said. They are saying. They said they are going to add one state for the Southeast under the first phase.
Okay.
Then the second phase, they will now consider adding one state per geopolitical zone. That will be when Adada may now come on board. Because if you want to create a state in a particular state now, and you ask other states who are also clamoring for state creation, you find it very difficult. But if Enugu is included, all the 5 states are included in the creation, then it will make their work very easy. Yes.
All right. Well, you are not here to defend all of that. Otherwise, I doubt if a man from the Enugu North Senatorial District, that's talking about the Nsukka people, will be, if they are to be given such opportunity, maybe they may put up a very good defense for that state.
Yes.
But that's not
Chris,
not our area of attention.
Yes, exactly.
Except you want to say one or two things.
No, what I wanted to say is that there's the Constitution is not saying you must get the nod from everybody, but get from the majority. So if Ada is raising objection, they are seriously in the minority.
Okay.
And definitely what we are looking for is the majority to create that state. And that is just that.
Okay, that's that for now. We'll draw the curtain on this show on this point. Well, as we keep monitoring the turn of events, we'll see what happens, what becomes of this proposal for state creation by the National Assembly. Our guest has said it's not going to be perceived political, effort, but then there is a clear intentionality on the side of government to doing this. And according to him, if he does this, then this government's actually led by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu will be writing their name on
History.
On history, on the sands of time. Posterity will certainly smile upon them, according to our guest. So this is exactly what the people want on state creation in Nigeria. Until come your way again, keep watching The Arena on Aneke TV, on all the social media platforms. Barrister Peter, thank you for coming to the show.
Thank you so much.
You've been very, very resourceful on the show, I must have to confess.
Thank you.
He's a spokesman for Coalition for Justice, Equity, and Good Governance. My name is Chris Anibogo.
From the tiniest cells to the farthest galaxies, life holds secrets we are only beginning to uncover. Why are we here? What connects us all? What unseen forces shape our destiny? Join Professor Jude Udenta as he explores the wonders, the questions, and the revelations that define existence. Mysteries of life, where every answer sparks a new discovery. Watch now on Aneke TV every Monday.
The soul is part of us that survives every storm. You can't see it, but you can feel it in silence, in longing, in every heartbeat that keeps going. It asks for more than food and fame. It hungers for meaning, for stillness, for the divine. The soul is where music is born, where peace begins, where truth hides. To care for your soul is the greatest act of self-love. For in the end, what we were fate, but what we are at our core remains.
And we are on the street today to find out what Nigerians think about some trending issues in the society. Please join us as they share their thoughts.
First of all, I'm not passionate about leaving the country per se, like the Jackpot thing. For me, I want to actually stay in this country and then build myself. If I should go outside the country, it should be for vacation and to come back. Yeah, so I'm not really interested in the illegal parts or whether it is legal or illegal. I'm not really interested.
I just want to be free. I like freedom. I like comfort. So if I'm leaving, I want it to be legal.
Human trafficking in Nigeria is not something we hear about every day, but then we know it's happening. But we don't hear about measures they take to curb this thing happening in the country. I don't necessarily have to say they are doing very well, but from the news, we don't hear things we don't hear things like them getting curbing it, or maybe them busting out these human traffickers. We don't hear things like, okay, so number of persons were caught trafficking and then they have been jailed or an action has been taken against them. We don't hear these things, so we don't know if they're actually doing enough. So we'd actually urge them to do these things, and when they do it, they have to let the public know that, okay, we as a government, we are fighting human trafficking.
When you talk about human traffickers is talking about exchanging of, that is sending our young ones outside for personal purposes and personal profits. Well, what I will actually say is because the way this country is something else now. Because the first thing that the government need to do is have to fish out those who are involved in it, and I know they are doing it. Now, one benefit I know as a computer scientist or as a computer engineer is making use of what this AI to fish out them. If they can improve on that technology, I believe they can easily be able to track out those who are involved in it. And once they're able to track out those involved in it, then those who are involved should face the persecution, should face the law. What the law says about it, then they should be able to face it. By the time they face it, I believe things like this will reduce. So my advice to the government is for them to improve their their technology and how to track this thing. But for now, for me as a scientist, Nigeria is really lacking behind in terms of improvement of technology. That's what I actually want them to improve on. Nigeria is actually lacking behind in terms of technology. By the time they improve in technology, I believe tracking of this human trafficking will be very easy for Nigerians to do.
For human traffickers, I feel like there should be a capital punishment because no one deserves to be trafficked, and it's actually a very, very serious offense.
It's something the government should take into consideration. It's not something we hear about all the time, yeah, but then it's something that still happens, and it still happens in many places, but then we don't really hear about it that much. So the government should actually do something or take any measure to curb human trafficking.
I don't really care about that. Again, I feel like everybody should mind their business. It's their marriage and it's their life. There's a reason why Regina Daniels, is coming out to everybody to complain. Again, probably she's too scared to face it, out in her marriage. You understand? Because I heard that she was domestically abused. Again, so that can traumatize her to do anything. So she's not seeking help from outside people. Nonetheless, anyone that works for them.
I don't think it's over. I think it's just hitting a rough patch. Yeah, because as they say, you cannot get in between two lovers. As she said in her recent post that she married him out of that she fell in love with him. So
I am Aneke, Aneke TV. The Enugu State Local Government Service Commission has completed a 10-day digital literacy training for staff in Enugu West Zone to boost efficiency and productivity in line with Governor Peter Mbah's modernization agenda. Chairman of the commission, Honorable Nana Obodo, commended the governor for driving the digital transformation of the service and promised to reward outstanding participants while sustaining continuous training.
And then he began to teach the state government workers on how to transit from analog to digital. And then he said, don't leave the local government workers out of it. That is the reason why you people are here.
Special Assistant to the Governor on Digital Economy and MSMEs, Honorable Ndubisi Ede, expressed delight over the participants' performance, describing the initiative as a major step towards bridging digital gaps in the system.
And we took our time, we held them by their hands, because many of them, when they were born, there was no computer. So there were no Gen Zs. But after 10 days, there are Gen Zs now.
Members of the commission, Peter Nnaji, Amaka Nweke, Bat Ezugu, and Florence Ibozi, praised Governor Mbah's commitment to workers' welfare and the chairman's efforts in repositioning the service.
We're trying to bring up them to measure up with today's innovation. That's why we deem it fit to organize this training with the help of the chairman of the commission and the governor's vision in enhancing and adding value to the system.
And I want to use this opportunity to thank His Excellency for giving them the privilege to be part of what is happening at the state level, and also to our chairman for also queuing in to the system that is being operated at the state level. So on behalf of the commission, we are very, very happy for all His Excellency has done for the local government staff of Enugu State.
The governor since inception has actually taken a very considerable decisions concerning our local government staff. He has brought up their welfare. He has checked the minimum wage. He has raised it up from 30,000 to 80,000, and he's been trying to enhance their welfare so that they will feel better in their work.
To thank the governor for giving us the opportunity to do this. It's not our own initiative, but his own initiative, and we thank God that everything worked out successfully.
The training officer, Mrs. Mbejo-Chinwe Roslyn, and some participants, including Anibu Ogechukwu and Comrade Samuel Okeke, described the program as impactful and timely.
The training exercise, the activities really impacted on the lives of the participants. And I really want to appreciate the Governor of Enugu State, His Excellency, Dr. Peter Mba, for giving the local government staff the platform to excel.
I learned a lot of things. I thank God for our governor. He really did well for providing this opportunity for us to learn. Like somebody like me, I don't know much about computer, but this platform now make me to know at least some primary aspects of computer.
The training was so successful. I love this training because somebody like me have not even have a time or have an opportunity to touch a computer. But I love to touch the computer, but I don't have the opportunity. But this training exposed me in many ways in Excel, Microsoft Word and Micro PowerPoint to enable me to understand what I'm supposed to know them before now. So I'm so much happy about the training. So the training was okay and fantastic.
The exercise ended with a group photograph marking the successful conclusion of the digital literacy training. Chidemi Kemede, Aneke TV.
Sex is sacred, not shameful. In its truest form, it is more than the body. It is soul speaking to soul, fire woven with trust, vulnerability clothed in consent. But when misused, it breaks more than bodies, it fractures spirits. That is why it must be approached with reverence, not recklessness. Let us teach to love before lust, connection before conquest. For when sex is honored, it becomes not just pleasure, but poetry.
There are questions the world are yet to answer. Truths buried in time, echoed in tradition, and hidden in the stars. From the rituals of the ancients to the secrets of the atom, from the patterns in nature to the power of thought, Mysteries of Life takes you on a journey through the unknown, exploring the mystical, the philosophical, the traditional, and the scientific. What connects them all? What lies beneath the surface of what we know? Join us on Aneke TV as we uncover the secret layers and unlock the unseen. This is Mysteries of Life, where every truth begins with a question.
Good day, viewer. You're welcome to our Aneke TV program, Mysteries of Life. Today in our studio, we have two important persons to help us to look at a particular issue that is becoming a cause of concern among our people, called paganism. But they call it neo-paganism, according to the Bishop of Enugu Diocese, His Lordship CVC Onaga. Now, having said that, we have two eminent persons to discuss this matter. First, by my immediate left, we have our brother in his red cap, Mazi Nnemeka Anichukwu, a peace and conflict consultant. Anichukwu, welcome to the program.
Thank you very much.
And next to him, by his own left, we have our brother who is the children's pastor of the Assemblies of God Church, Owani Enugu, Reverend Uche Kalu. Reverend, welcome to the program.
The pleasure is mine, sir.
You know, it's this issue of paganism, particularly neo-paganism. I want to start with you, the pastor. What is neo-paganism? So that, what is paganism first, before we go to the nuances, which we now call neo-paganism? Paganism, what is paganism?
Okay. Paganism, in my definition, is an act of worshipping the God that is not supreme, the God that we attach to our tradition, which we now call traditional religion. So once one oblige himself not to worship the supreme God, you are practicing paganism.
Okay. Once you are not, Aneke, he says, once you are not obliging yourself to worshiping the one supreme God, that you are getting yourself involved in what is paganism.
Yeah.
What do you think about what he said?
Paganism, from his own, he's free to air his own view based on his
perspective,
professional or religious point of view. Because he's a pastor. And once he says anything against Christianity, he's a heresy. Yes, he's a heresy. So he needs to protect his own side. And he cannot be objective on such issues.
Wow.
Yeah, that's true. So, but in true view of what paganism is all about, paganism is just, first of all, it's all about a delegatory reference established by the main religions, the so-called main religions of the world. Christianity, Islam, Judaism, whereby they delegatorily label other religions as worshippers of evil God. That's why they are worshiping the righteous God. But in life there is either evil or good, heaven or hell. And in that balance, before the gospel was brought to Africa, even Igbo land, in Igbo cosmology, we have God, and there's only one supreme God. They are not two. They are not two. So somebody saying that those who worship any other God, not under Christianity, even Africa, Igbo cosmology, we believe in is a monotheistic religion, because only one supreme God. Other ones are lesser deities, ancestors that are all intermediary, lesser deities. Then, so what I'm establishing is that the delegatorily labeled Africans, Reverend Father Raymond Arazu, very Reverend Father Dr. Raymond Arazu, a scholar, a lecturer, is a great man in the Catholic papacy. He said that Africans, we are not worshipping, our ancestors there were no pagans. They are approaching God from African perspective. They are not pagans. So, on that premise, I say, I counter his analogy and conclusion, saying that those who don't worship only under Christianity are pagans. They are not pagans. In fact, let me tell you the truth. The truth is that our ancestors worshipped one and only true God more righteously than we do today under Christianity and Islam.
Why do you say so?
Why I say so is that they are always conscious of what that what is in the Torah is innate in our minds as Africans and Igbos. Or if you go to Nri, the 10 Nri, there are 10 sins that are Lord in Nri. You are a researcher, a professor, go to Nri. If any person who is able cleansing of evil is 10, then that 10 is in tandem with the 10 commandments as given by to Moses. But I don't want to go so deep. Because all I'm saying that our ancestors, the priests, not everybody that died is an ancestor. Our ancestors, they worship one and only true God, and there's no two true God, only one God.
Yeah, but let me get back to Reverend Uche, because this is your own premise.
Yes.
Which you have tried to establish. But Reverend Uche has already put forward one dimension to it, which is about that if you are following the African traditional religion, which is what we are saying, that you are a pagan, kind of. And I think there are other dimensions to paganism, as far as Uche is concerned.
Yeah, in discussant, I think we need to create a balance.
Okay.
We don't need to engage our viewers as if they have only one person they listen to.
Okay.
And there should be time balance in our
no
approach.
Okay.
Good remark.
And we shouldn't even not necessarily be attacking, but projective, bring out the point from your angle of view. To me, like I said, I didn't mention Christianity in my definition. I said once you don't worship the supreme God is attached, you are into traditional religion, which is purely paganism. Traditional religion is different from culture. Culture is a way of life. Traditional religion is a situation where you come to observe certain spirit and libations, and you do certain sacrifices which goes against the worship of the real righteous and holy God. And so when we talk about paganism, we are standing point clear that it is not the worship of a supreme God. Our ancestors may have worshipped in the ideation that they are worshiping a supreme God when Christianity has not come to play. And we will not take that to judge them. When Christianity came to play, the Word of God declared it openly that God is the creator of heaven and earth, in tandem to the opinion that God is the supreme God that our ancestors do worship. But when Jesus came into the scene, he became the way, the truth, and the life. And he taught us so many things about life itself, which goes different from that tradition that African people used to attach to pagan worship. So paganism entirely is not a worship of the supreme God. It's an idolatry.
Okay, paganism?
Yes.
It's idolatry?
It's idolatry. It's idolatry. Because when you now come up to sacrifice to a God, and outside the worship of the true God, you are engaging yourself into idolatrous worship. Sure.
Yeah, this is because that's one dimension to it.
Yes.
When I checked my dictionary, not necessarily online, I saw that paganism, apart from what you have just defined, both of you, but you have just added another dimension.
Yes, sir.
Because idolatry is even if you begin to even idolize yourself,
Good. Yes.
you become an idol.
Exactly.
Yeah. So idolatry is not just about worshiping one god or deity or another small god or deity. Because I looked at it and I found out that what they said there is that a pagan, that's where he was coming from, that a pagan is someone, and he used the word correctly, derogatorily referred to by the Jews for Judaism, by the Christians and Muslims. If you are not among the three, then they will refer to you as a pagan. But then the dictionary went on, the Shepherd Dictionary went on to even define anybody that is involved in pleasure pursuit, which is hedonism. Are you getting what I'm saying?
Yes.
I'm coming. Okay. As also
engaging in paganism.
A pagan, because the person is now godless. Like for you, because you are coming from the idea of Christianity.
Yes.
And in the Bible, the man that got so much harvest and said to himself, my soul, now you have everything that you need.
Okay.
Or the man that forgot the harvest, that forgot about the poor man Lazarus, how he also ended. So, but there's a way you just said that paganism is idolatry. I don't know. I'm just putting it so that we get our premises clear.
I think before you engage him back,
yes,
etymologically, we had to just accept before we now diverse the context of the study.
Yes.
that once you are not worshiping the true supreme God, where there is no division of entity, you are a pagan. So you can now from there now start going into any area.
That's your view now. That is your own view.
That's the view.
That's your own view.
That's a view.
No, that's your view. That's not.
It may not be my own alone. It's a view.
No, that is okay. That is a view. You can call it. That is a view.
Good.
That is not his own view.
Okay. Yeah, of course.
So and the viewer is expected to learn from us because we are going into what's happening now. What's happening now is that a lot of young men now come back. Go to the community and then put cloth around trees. That's what we call new paganism. That's why I talked about the disturbance to our bishop, Bishop Kaliso Naga. That now we have this new paganism and people are doing a lot of strange things. And that's why I brought up the other definition of the dictionary. You know, bringing in this pleasure principle, because if you ask those people the in-depth knowledge of what they are trying to institute or what they are trying to do, they may not be able to explain it. Apart from the fact that maybe they are beginning to get wealth, and so on and so on. So that's part of why I said let us bring it in, so that from there we will not enter into what now covers the ordinary persons. Because I'm so happy that you are involved in children's ministry.
So, but there is a crucial point he raised.
Yes.
That those who don't worship one true God are pagans.
Supreme God.
Supreme God, yes. Are pagans. Even if you want to handle him from that, handle his submission from that point of view.
No, you're handling it for the viewer, not him.
Okay. Now, the African traditional religion.
Yes.
Worship only one true supreme God.
You know, we have a problem now. The problem we have is that he's looking at it from pantheism and monotheism. That's the angle it's coming from.
But
you know that
smaller...
the Christian religion, Judaism,
yes,
Mohammedan religion,
Islam,
you know, they are about monotheism.
Yeah.
The African traditional religion is more or less about pantheism. That's why the Igbo man, in the Igbo cosmology, an Igbo man creates his own God. I know that he believes in Chukwuka Abiyama, but most of the time we create our God in Igbo land. We create our God, and if that God doesn't work, we use it and cook food and make a new God. So that's the angle it's coming from.
Okay. No, if I made it might sound so critical, but that is the truth.
Okay.
If I say that if it comes to idolatry, which he raised,
that's what he said.
Idolatry. That even Christians, they're like Christian idolaters.
Yeah.
For instance, in the Holy Catholic Church,
okay,
the Blessed Chapel, Sacrament,
okay,
the crucifix,
okay,
the scapula,
okay,
the chaplet.
Okay.
Okay, for instance, the Blessed Sacrament, or the Madonna, Madonna, call it Madonna Shrine. Okay. They call it Madonna Shrine.
Okay.
Madonna Shrine is where where gods or other divine beings inhabit.
The shrine, yes.
Yes, they have. And I told people that if you go to Madonna Shrine and place your petition, it works.
I'm listening.
It works. So if true traditionalists, they don't bow down to any image. They never. A true traditionalist in Igbo, I know, will come out in the morning. They issue decrees with faith. They never bow down to any image. They sit down, bring cola, bring the sacramentals, and they issue decrees. And I know more than that. Igbo in Chineke ozi. Neve achọrọ ya dị otu a, ya dị otu a, ya dị otu a, ya dị otu a. Let it be with faith, and it works for them. So I won't like, if you want to do it in idolatry, I will tell you that Christians even practice idolatry more than these people who are saying that they are practicing traditionalism. Traditional religion. Yes, you are a prof. In research, you don't bend to your church or religion. You come with objectivity, the plain truth.
You are not being objective. Yeah. So because bowing down to an image or bowing down to a god does not necessarily when you come and kneel down. When you make your submission, when you have your opinion, the Bible says, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks.
Yes.
So whatever you speak is a representative of what you have in mind. And you cannot talk to whom you do not respect.
Okay.
So when someone talk to and this and that, in the heart, he has already submitted to that God. And there is no other way than it is.
So all I'm concluding...
Then when you are now saying that Christians, I don't want to be emphatical about it. I'm not a Catholic, but to be honest with you, different churches have their doctrine and dogma.
Okay.
And the way they relate to their own God. Do you understand? And I cannot conclusively say that everybody is fooling around. Yes, because they still get their solutions and answers.
Good.
Then the question you ask, from which source is it operating from? Now, I am a Pentecostal. Okay? Even at that, the cloth we put on, there is a level we reference it, it becomes an idol. So all we are trying to say, going back to our context discussion, paganism, in the ancient time, you cannot in any way rule out idolatry. And you see, they are not sanctity. They are not sanctity as an entity. What do I mean? They are not holy as an entity. Ancient time, remember, they killed twins. How can one claim to be sanctity? How can one claim to be best approach to a supreme God? And then you engage in murdering, killing souls. Today, we have what plate? We have people having 7 children and all this at once. And they emerge great people in life. Those that you have killed as a result of whatever you call it.
That's the belief system.
Yes, fetish. Those African traditional religion then was fetish. And for us to engage back to it, we are engaging into fetish and paganism, and it is still the same idolatry. Where has it taken us to? And where do you think it will take us to? Christianity still remains the light.
No. I don't want to go into. The point is making.
No.
The point is making. Wait. The point is making is about idolatry. But this work is not about idolatry.
Exactly.
Our discussion is not about idolatry. Our discussion is about paganism. Particularly because the young ones now are going back into what we now call neo-paganism. And what address this issue? Because it's not like it's not a religion. It's a religion. It's not like that they are pagans. No. It's not about whether they are pagans or not. It's about what revolution has brought up now. What it has brought up is this. This practice that our people are now going back to. How far does it liberate people?
Humanity, yes.
Even though I may not go along the people who think that Africans, who think that Africans were backward. Because if you go back to your New Testament, you will see that the Ethiopian eunuch came to Jerusalem as part of the worship of one God under Judaism before the time of the Pentecost and before he met Philip and so on and so on and so on. They were all in Africa. So Africans did not wait for this. Yeah, there were bad times, like you mentioned, when people took to killing twins, and all those.
Even Christians committed their own atrocities and evils. It's truth.
We are not talking of the days of. We are not talking of days of darkness. We are talking of how do we bring our people out of the wrong practice. I think we take our time, we come back and then find out what to do. What are we going to do? Because the public needs to know what to do, so that the young ones do not get consumed in what they do not understand.
There are questions the world are yet to answer. Truths buried in time, echoed in tradition, and hidden in the stars. From the rituals of the ancients to the secrets of the atom. From the patterns in nature to the power of thought. Mysteries of Life takes you on a journey through the unknown, exploring the mystical, the philosophical, the traditional, and the scientific. What connects them all? What lies beneath the surface of what we know? Join us on Aneke TV as we uncover the secret layers and unlock the unseen. This is Mysteries of Life. where every truth begins with a question.
Yeah, welcome back, viewer. You know, we thank our brothers, Reverend Uche and Maase Anichukwu. We have been looking at this issue of paganism because we want to get to a current situation. A few weeks ago, the government of Anambra State, got into a big drama with the Ezedibias and the Ezemoke and the Ezewine. And then even in Enugu State, the story, I wasn't there, but I heard about the story of how the governor, our own barrister, Vida Ndubisimba, invited all the DBS and then asked them a question, whether any of them could tell him why he invited them. And because nobody did that, then he asked them to pay for whatever I wasn't there, but I'm trying to say, part of what we had, And we want to use it to now come back to both of you. I want to start with you because this issue of everybody's now coming up with this neo-paganism. Everybody's trying to now go back to, everybody's talking of is it what they call cultural nationalism and so on and so on. I don't know whether it's a spiritual thing, I don't know what is going on, but this issue of Ezedibia and Ezewine and Ezemoke, because that's what is this. I don't know, is it what we call paganism? Is that what you see as paganism? If that's anything like that. Because you already defined that that adherents of African religion.
True worshippers of Almighty God. True worshippers.
So this young boy, what are you calling them?
The truth is that bad governance in Africa has truncated a lot of things. Okay. Frustrations everywhere. In Igbo cosmology, whatever you achieve does not give you, you cannot get it. And whenever you get it, through Ogo, you will pay dearly for it. Because Ogo, most of these are practicing dangerous ritualism, dangerous occultism, contrary to the wishes, the prayers or the wishes of the holy deities and ancestors of Africa. Now, there is economic quagmire everywhere. And once in it all, the Christian podium declare that once you accept Jesus Christ as personal Lord and Savior, everything becomes well for you. But that's lies, falsehood. It's when you accept Jesus Christ that persecution starts. Because Christ lives and teaches golden rule. Do unto others as wish others do unto you. And once you accept Jesus Christ, you stand against falsehood, lies, cheating, profiteering, all these things that make people to become overnight billionaires. You go against it. In your community, you speak the truth. So, then they portray the gospel in a way that once you accept Jesus Christ, things start moving well for you as a graduate. You get job, you marry a billionaire, and so on. So, when all these promises were not fulfilled, all the promises given to them on the pulpits of the Christianity were not fulfilled, they turned now to seek it from elsewhere that is not even from the pure African cultural perspective. That's why you see all this proliferation of shrines everywhere. They import foreign occultism. They say no true African deity or holy ancestor will ask you to bring in the head of your mother or breast or private parts.
I want to take it from there because I want to go back to the pastor, Reverend Uche. You see, you hear what he's saying. What explains what is going on now? What the young ones are doing? How would you explain it? Because he has put his own that it's economic quagmire that is causing it, and then blaming also Christians. I don't know whether it is
promising them heaven.
I'm saying what you said, blaming Christians for what is going on.
You see, when one gives his life or her life to Jesus Christ, the message is not that everything will be all right. Whoever preaches that way probably seemingly is still growing in the Lord.
That's what they call prosperity Christianity.
And such person may not have attained a level of maturity in the Christian faith. And if somebody goes by that, the judgment will be that it is being preached. In Christian faith, you grow according to the experience as you walk with God. Do you understand? God does not promise us a risk-free life or risk-free journey. He promises us safe landing and his guide. His word is the guide. He says, forever, O Lord, your word is settled in heaven. He says, this word is a lamp to my feet and a light to my path. Meaning, step by step, the word of God guides you. And in long range, the word of God grants you counsel. So when you don't have that word of God, you may deviate into believing everything will be all right as soon as you enter into the law. It's not an occultic society, right? Then when we come to why people engage into it, from beginning, sorcery, witches and wizard has already been there. The witch and the wizard are the Ezewoke and the Ezewine. The issue is that end time prophecy, iniquity will abound. The increasing evil in the land on earth multiplies every vices. And you cannot imagine there are unthinkable things that, will not be done, and it is being done. All in the quest of what? Getting wealth. Okay? And in accordance to the word of God, that the end, perilous time will come. When people will begin to sell their parents and all those, sell their children in the quest to make money. Okay? Now, we are just as a person. It may be subjective, it may be objective. If you are practicing African religion and the enclave of the supreme God, the fear of the Lord, that is the beginning of all wisdom. Wisdom is life, it's not in you. You will deviate into idolatry. That is why it is pure paganism to do all those libation, and there is no way you can modernize it. There is no way you can refurbish it and say, I also carry my Bible, I go to church and this and that. You must stand for God and be for God. You cannot just be doing all these things, curriculum, and be doing and this, go to a place. There is a place I pastored.
So what is the problem with breaking color?
No, I said these are normal. That one is Igbo culture.
Yes.
You use cola as a fruit.
You mentioned libation and you mentioned cola.
Yes.
So I got interested in that.
Don't be a kind of surprise that there are different colas that people use in African religion.
No, there's nothing you said. You mentioned sorcery.
That's what
I
I'm
understand
saying.
that. You mentioned occultism.
Yes.
I understand that.
Yes.
But now when you now went into this cola, because it's like
when you start a conversation in Igbo land, you use cola to open the discussion.
Yes.
Then when you enter into African religion, that libation of a thing, people go for cola that has 4 parts. You forget 5. Only for Eke. People will look for a cola that have 7 parts. People look for cola that does not have part at all. They are sealed. So this is what we talk about traditional religion. They use it for different kinds of libation. And in that case, you are not ascribing whatever result you derive to the Almighty Supreme.
The problem I have with that, I understand the explanation.
Okay.
But I have a problem with it because if the viewer hears that, and I like the way you move. You moved into what you call sorcery. You talked about sorcery.
I do.
If people do sorcery, that is against a number of things because you are now throwing up energies that might end up creating confusion. In a town, there's a town.
That is there's a wine and there's a working practices.
There's a town. Nature about vacuum. Okay. In a town very close to this place, a man lost his employee. He didn't get a job, so he got 3 stoves, and said, "If you do things for me, I will always make sure that you are happy." And things are not going well for him.
Okay.
Then one time, after some time, the oracle demanded, he was given ram and fowls and all those things. And it was working. Then from fowl to goat to
advancement.
Ram, then one day the oracle demanded human sacrifice. I'm coming because the man that told me that he recipes, VC Kechipi, he told us that story. So, but the community had to come together because it was in his own town. I just mentioned, I don't want to call the town, but I've called the name of the man who told me this story, 1990. So, the whole town came together and destroyed the shrine.
Good.
You don't have a shrine, we have oracle. And these are energies. I understand some of those things. But the issue is this. Now that we are looking at this paganism, neo-paganism, and the young men are doing this. And because when you talk of, we know we have cola, we have good usage of cola. Just like good use of palm wine. We have the other side, the evil usage of all those things.
Yes.
Like this, our biro could be used to write and give life. You can also use it to kill somebody.
Exactly.
To stab somebody.
Exactly.
And kill a person.
Exactly.
Or to blind somebody.
Or to write the regulatory this.
Yes. And so on and so on.
Yes.
So it depends on the usage. But we are now looking at Africa, and we are now looking at our own people. We are looking at what the young men are doing now.
Yes.
And we are trying to see why did they do this. He has tried to explain part of it. You have also tried to explain part of it by looking at the negative energies that people may throw up. But how do we save our people? Because the government of Anambra State, they have come with their own view. But then I started hearing a part, I don't know whether it is true, I don't know whether it's not true, that they said that they are not against all the DBS. I heard that kind of stuff. I don't know whether it is true. I don't know what, if it's not true, let it follow those who said it. Then in Enugu State also, we also have our own, because I think the governor said, if it's business, come and join and pay by business premises. That's what I had. I don't know.
Registration, regulating spiritual practices.
To regulate them. It's important. So, having said that, what do you do with our young ones who are not getting into this? How do we help them? But I'm happy that you're in the children's ministry. Good. But maybe we'll start with you first. What do we do? How do we get the young men to watch it? Because I got confused about. That's why I asked about the cola nut issue, because for the people, the cola is part of our own practice.
It's a very clean culture. Very clean culture. Very clean Holy Ghost.
Of course, you know, I wasn't condemning the use of cola nuts, okay? But I am just trying to emphasize the negative attachment to it. Do you understand?
Of cola nuts.
Yes. So that is just my point. Fine. I'm not condemning the use of cola nuts.
Libation is not an Igbo word. Libation is not an African word. Libation is an English word. And those who watched the burial of Queen Elizabeth II must have seen a lot of things.
Okay.
Those who watched the burial of Queen Elizabeth must have seen so many things. Because culture is culture. And the spiritual, you know, there's spirituality and spiritism.
Exactly.
I don't know what that one, how we are going to put it.
Spiritism is the negative side.
There's spirituality and spiritism. And I like what you use, sorcery and witchcraft. And all those energies that people cast around. But for the young ones, do you think that they know what they are trying to do?
Well, actually, that's why I said that the government should look around for people like you, based on your learning, who have established a board that will reorientation of values. We need to give them reorientation, the young ones. Rushing to the deities and ancestors to give you money or wealth. No clean deity or ancestor will give you quick wealth. Because you don't have what it means. The ancestors and deities bless you according to the time of your life. Even in the Bible, it said, I will answer Sarah. Abraham, I will answer you for childbirth. At the time, it will come at the time of your life. Whatever does not come at that time of your life as a sign divine ordained, will bring curse unto you. So these people, young ones who are drifting into this new paganism or this, they don't know what they're doing. Because go and learn work. Have sound education. Learn work. Diligence. Be dutiful. Pay attention to what you are doing. Have time. Patience. Perseverance. Then, there is difference between charm and some clean or decent ritualism.
Practice.
Yes.
Practice.
Charm is commanding nature, going against the will of God. Because if you call Satan devil, he will answer you.
That's what they call enchantment.
So now these young men are bringing foreign occultic powers. I call it evil occult collegiate. they are bringing into this place to manipulate nature against the will of their chi. In the work of marriage, that's what we call chi, or guardian angel in the Christian faith, Catholic Church. So whatever you get in life, the young ones, you are hearing me. Whatever you get in life that your chi does not give you, will bring a curse on you.
Okay.
It doesn't work.
So are you hearing him? So what do you have to add to that?
I think the Bible made us to understand if we train up a child in the way he should go, when that child grows up, he will not depart from it.
Yes.
We neglect the important, the value of starting early.
Okay.
And we want to start when...
Yeah, but we go to nursery school, we go to pre-nursery school,
yeah,
we go to primary
that is what
school,
I'm emphasizing.
we go to secondary
that
school,
is what I'm saying.
we go to university.
Going to nursery is not what is more important. It is the value you attach in that nursery.
Okay.
When a child is left to grow the way he wants to grow, when a child is left to grow without monitoring, without checking, the parent give the child free hand to do everything, there's a time that child will grow to, it will be difficult, extremely difficult, to bring that child back to table.
So are you going back to what you said about the economy?
Well, economy...
Because now, you know, we were lucky. I don't know about you. You know, I was born in the 60s. Yeah?
Yes, sir.
I don't know about you. I don't want to go into that. But what I'm trying to say is that we had mothers who were housewives.
Okay.
You know?
Okay.
Today we don't have housewives any longer.
Okay.
So how do you handle it?
Yes. The best is the fear of God. If we are able to inculcate the fear of God into
How do you
a child...
inculcate it in the child without having the mother on the ground?
Of course, the child also grows by what he sees. If he sees the life of the parent as sound, worthy to emulate, that child will learn to live on that morale. But if the parents the type that will say another thing and will do another thing, it's a different message altogether.
The child is finished.
Yes, it's true. So the economy also now, some parents are eager. Let my child succeed. Let my child make it. The parent is not interested in what the child does, whether the child is going to come back demanding his head or her head.
Exactly.
Let him to be like your contemporary. And when once that competitiveness is there on the market, every child goes to the field.
You know, maybe I'll come back to you like this. You know, one man died in my community, and I was trying to find out why the man died. And they said that the son came and did one of those practices.
Okay.
And the man was there.
Okay.
And the man wasn't supposed to allow it to happen.
Okay.
So when the child finished that, the man died.
Okay. Not knowing that the practice was in his advantage and
because he was happy.
disadvantage.
No, he was, you know, like, I did my service in the West, 1985. So I used to hear, is it today? Yeah? It has come, he has arrived.
Okay.
When we say he has arrived, you know, immediately come back. But when we after the war, immediately after the war, people are not saying that he has arrived. If you come back with 10 kobo, your parents must ask you first,
good.
Where do you get this from? Those questions. I don't know what happened. I know what happened to them as a pastor. What happened to those questions?
I really want to suggest that the government, though they will not do everything for the masses, it is important that the government do a leverage on the weight on parents.
Okay.
It is important that every good governance will look at health care, academics, education, road, water, electricity. These are not political issues.
Good.
They are social amenities. When you praise people that they did it, I try to laugh. What else would they have done if not that? So when it is placed on board, it will lessen the burden of parents. They will not push their children beyond limits, and their children will be able to discover their potential, their God-given calling into what they, and the society will be okay.
You know, there's something that you just said, you know, because this vulnerability is important. Vulnerability is crucial here.
Yes.
You made a point. You know, when we were growing, I went to St. Bridget here, Asata. Even though I started from my village after the war. I was born in the north. Then I came to my village at Mbo. Then I did my elementary 1 there. Then I did elementary 2 at Abwani, St. John Abwani. Then I did my elementary 3 and the rest at St. Bridget. And then went to CIC. Now, we were lucky because our parents followed us and tried to do some of those things that you just mentioned, and try to make sure that they impacted some of those values upon us. You know, we are lucky to have our mothers on the ground. You know, but now the mother is in the office, and the child is left to who?
To the care of anyone.
Not to the care of anyone. And then you are bringing somebody that doesn't even understand. And then there's a point you made again about little children. You know, we were meant to be in debate society. We had the local governments organized inter-house, organized inter-sports. We grew from this to greater tomorrow, to this, to that, to that, to that.
Inter-school debate.
Inter-school
debate.
kept very, very busy.
Yes.
Today, the private schools, you have a private school, there's international school, without even a playing field. There's no field.
Well, you are right. That is a secondary matter.
No, it's part of it now.
It's a secondary matter. The primary matter for me is the value.
No, I'm talking about. No,
do you know, sir?
You create the conditions for the value.
Yeah, do you know, sir?
Yes.
People today only dwell on self-centeredness. Before, if you see somebody's child going astray, you will call that child back.
If you call the child back now, the mother will ask you,
fight
have you finished training your own?
Today, everybody focuses on his own.
Do you know
child.
that call police for teachers?
Yeah, of course. What I'm trying to drive at is that parents do not want the best to come out from their children. Rather, they want to buy the best for their children.
Okay, now because we are going to close with this comment. You know, our people used to have Mwara. That's
Yes,
the name.
Before now.
Makanangwa Mwara.
Today is now Ikenna.
Thank you. That is the problem. Mwabu Mwara. Eh?
Yeah.
Peter Mba. Or the community where.
Yeah.
Eh? The community where Peter.
Yes.
No, but he is now Ikenna. If he becomes Ikenna, it is just to the stomach, to the afonkia. And that is what we want to look at. We want to look at everything holistically. We want to look at the structures of the community to get these children properly nurtured. Because now that Donald Trump called African leaders, and they were all standing up around him, and he was the only one sitting down, and it didn't look embarrassing to them. We were lucky that our president didn't equally go. So now, I mean, we have to be looking at all these things because, like he mentioned, have we looked at the material conditions? Like you mentioned, this health and all those things.
Yes.
These are hidden costs.
Yes.
The hidden cost of maintenance of a child.
Yes.
Nobody's taking care of them.
Nobody.
Do you know enough when a child goes through malaria, only malaria? Do you know how much money that the parents will get for only malaria?
Oh, God.
Do you know that the child is supposed to take egg every day? Every child is supposed to is entitled to an egg every day. I mean, everybody, or not just the children, but at least it's a must for a child to have an egg. Do you know the cost of?
Has he been guaranteed 2 square meals?
No, these are the issues which we are going to be looking at. So, viewer, even if we continue discussing this next time, it will still be there. We want to get our people to understand that neo-paganism may look interesting for those who are involved, but people are now bringing, you know, what happened to Sodom and Gomorrah. You know, what did they call it? He said that he sent sulfur and fire, you know, brimstone upon them. We do not want that to happen to our people. We want our people to live good lives. We want to worship our God in whichever way we think best. But we are Christians. Everybody, I mean, both myself and my brother Uche, we are Christians.
Everybody will not be a Christian.
My brother
and Christianity is not the only way to God.
My brother Aneke is also a worshipper of the one true God.
Aneke is also a Christian.
I'm a practical Christian, not a theoretical Christian. Practical Christian.
So, want to thank God for you, brother Uche. Want to thank God for our brother Aneke. We hope that God will protect us. So by the next time we come, we pick up another topic that is going to help our people because we want our people to equally be part of the globalizing world, but not to be used as the periphery of that globalizing world. I think with that I can say thank you and hoping the best for until we meet next time.
Thank you.
1 Timothy 6 verse 10 reminds us, for the love of money is the root of all kinds of evil. By craving it, some have wandered away from the faith and pierced themselves with many sorrows. The so-called instant wealth mentality, often described as the get-rich-quick syndrome, refers to the rapacious desire to acquire financial wealth through questionable or unauthorized means solely to satisfy interests or selfish ambitions. In former days, Nigerians prided themselves on the dignity of labor, hard work, humility, endurance, respect for elders, and perseverance, where values were deeply taught by parents and guardians. These virtues propelled many young people into apprenticeship, skill acquisition, and education with the hope of building a solid future. But today, the narrative is changing. With the advent of technology and the erosion of values, many youths have abandoned diligence and now chase wealth by any means. Over time, some parents even began forcing their daughters into marriages with wealthy men, as there's an Igbo adage that says, "Ogobuchi onye," meaning in-laws determine destiny, regardless of love or compatibility. Likewise, some parents urge their sons to make money like their mates without caring about the source. This cultural shift fractured society. Instead of rising through hard work, many young people now want to rise like the Iroko tree, tall, proud, but with little or no traces of foundational hard work. Some have indulged into money rituals, popularly known as okite, cybercrime, popularly known as Yahoo, prostitution, vandalism, kidnapping, drug trafficking, human trafficking, and theft. The get-rich-quick mentality is not a Nigerian problem. It is a global issue. It spreads like wildfire. In pharmaceuticals, some produce fake or adulterated drugs, repackage expired medicines, or sell counterfeit drinks and foods. Others flood the market with harmful skincare products or inferior tires that burst on highways, claiming innocent lives, all in the name of profit. In public service, corruption thrives. Officials embezzle humongous funds, collect bribes, and divert resources meant for development. Some engineers cut corners by using substandard materials to build roads that collapse within months. Certain nurses exchange babies for money, while baby factories exploit young pregnant girls. Some native doctors encourage blood money rituals, while prosperity-preaching pastors promise instant success without labor, even blessing fraudsters and urging them to pay tithes. But is this truly the right way to make money? Must everyone be rich and influential at all costs? Some Enugu residents who spoke with Aneke TV lamented the moral collapse.
In recent time, we have seen a deviation from hard work and the entrenchment of laziness among the youths and the upcoming ones, because you now see a situation where people don't no longer take patience in hard work, like not you want to reap when we did not sow, or you want to sow today and you know that in the process of planting, you have to sow, you have to wait. There's a gestation period, and then before you talk of harvesting. But these days, the young ones want to sow today and then reap the next day. That is get rich quick thing.
They want to belong because when they see their mates, and when they see their mates driving big cars, they want to belong. Some parents are also the cause, because the way they talk to their children, they compare their children to the children of their neighbors or their co-wives. That's one of the things to me.
Some of the parents contribute to this get-rich-quick syndrome, because when a parent begins to compare the child with other people, you are telling your child, have you not seen Mr. A, how he's doing well, buying houses for the parents, doing this and doing that? That child will feel bad, or we want to go to any length in impressing you to show that, okay, you know, to make you proud. That is what some of them, you get them, they say, I want to make my parents proud, because the parents refuse to be proud of them because they have not met up with the other people they are comparing them with. So you don't compare your child with anybody.
They noted that society has grown cold, not just cold, but frozen. The poor are despised, mocked, and branded as cursed, while the wealthy are exalted regardless of how they earned their wealth. This disturbing trend calls for sober reflection. It is time to pause, reconsider, and retrace our steps for the sake of ourselves, our families, and our nation. As the proverb warns, he who knows how to pound should pound on a mortar, but he who doesn't know how to pound should pound on the floor. Let's always reflect on the words of the gospel preacher in Ecclesiastes 1, verse 2, vanity of vanities, all is vanity. Chidimi Kemedem, Aneke TV.
I'm Ernest Mesoma, and we are out the streets today to talk about what Nigerians think about WAEC going digital in 2026 and how it will affect village students.
Okay, I have no issue with WAEC coming digital 2026, but they should do preparation before 2026, making sure that every examination center has adequate computer system for all their students, their candidates, and then ensuring that all the candidates are computer compliant. It's not just bringing computer and then telling the student that cannot operate computer to start writing exam using computer. It's going to be a waste of time, waste of resources, and waste of energy. So if they can get the student ready for CBT before 2026, they should bring it. Otherwise, the first thing is to get them ready and get the schools equipped. Shikina?
Actually, I have no problem with WAEC going digital. But the problem is, how sure are they that in some rural areas there is network? Are you getting it? Because in past experience, I discovered that in some jam centers, at times network do give problem, and before the candidate will meet up, at times fluctuation of network, it will affect the student capability or ability to pass very well. And secondly, talk of electricity or power supply. In last time there was a standby generator, but unfortunately there was no NEPA and the standby gen went off. So I don't know the level of plan or that they have put in place to make sure that all these things won't affect student performance.
Of course. It's not like WAEC going digital is a bad thing per se. My worry is that whether we as a country we are old enough in terms of the facilities we have to be able to accommodate everybody. When I mean everybody, I mean both in the rural area and both in the urban areas. Because you find out that there are some rural areas we visit in Nigeria today and you see that you can't have internet connection there. Some don't have enough computers to be able to make this exam CBT. So it's a step in the right direction, but I feel that we really have to do a lot to provide all that is needed to be able to accomplish it. If not, a whole lot of people, especially those in the rural area, will not be able to participate, and that will be unfair to them.
I believe that while going digital in 2026 is the right step or the right direction, because the world is going AI now. You can't change it. If you want to move forward, you move forward. If you want to be left behind, you be left behind. So Nigeria needs to carry their people along so that nobody will be left behind. The whole world, globally, is going on AI now. Digital is acclimatizing everything in the world now. So there's no other option than to get along. So our government will have to carry our people along. So if you refuse to go along, they'll drop you, others will move on.
I don't think that if WAEC decide to go digital, they must have made preparation for that. Those in rural area, they must have considered those students and also make provision for that. So I don't think there is any way it's going to affect them. The only thing they get to do is to train the teachers so that they can also train those students at the rural area involving the digital they want to go. So in every aspect of planning to do, I felt that the government has budgeted for that and also make provision for those students. It's not going to affect them in any way.
These are the thoughts of Nigerians and how WAEC going digital will affect village students. I'm Ernest Mesoma.
Hello, I'm Chidimbi Kemede, and we are on the streets today to find out from Nigerians if the ban of sachet alcohol and small bottle alcohol is going to make the youth drink less or is going to make them to go for more expensive ones. Join us.
The ban on sachet alcohol will reduce the rate at which you take alcohol. it will equally help, you know, in keeping the environment neater, because the way they dispose the sachets everywhere, it's not really nice. Being that the sachet is not something that can decompose, you know, it's harmful to the society. So that's on that. So I think really it will help reduce, because first of all, the sachet alcohol is cheaper, so it's affordable to the lowest of the low in the society. But if you reduce that and they have to buy the big one, of course they'll have to like save up to be able to buy that big bottle, and it will help discourage the rate at which they take it. Of course it will.
Actually, it will reduce the way they are taking alcohol, because the way people take alcohol now, because it's in sachet and it's at a lower price. Not that they abandon alcohol, but they abandon the sachet. So maybe the bottle one will be somehow expensive, and not everybody will be able to afford it, unlike that of alcohol. Because most students now buy it and put in their bag. But if it's in bottle, I don't think it will happen like that.
And I don't think that banning sachet alcohol will make our youth to stop taking alcohol. They will resort to other alternative measures, because they must always take alcohol, no matter whatever it costs them. But they will resort to other measures. The only gainful effect is that it will reduce the rate at which the sachet alcohol, those ones in small bottles, are littering our environments and places. It will reduce the rate at which they litter the sachet alcohol with their, you know, they litter the environment with sachet alcohol, and the sachets, when they cast it away, when they throw it away, they litter the whole places with the sachet and the small can of it. But not that it will reduce the rate at which they are taking alcohol. They still resort to other measures, because someone is addicted to someone is addicted to it. And there's something it always does to them when they take it. So they will resort to other measures.
Banning sachet alcohol will help a lot, because most of the youth spend their money on alcohol, you know, and it's not good for the health, actually. Me, I don't take alcohol, so I guess it's good they ban sachet alcohol.
You've just heard from Nigerians about the ban of sachet alcohol and small bottle alcohol in Nigeria, how it's going to affect the youths, whether the youths are going to reduce the quantity of sachet alcohol that they drink, or if they're going to go for the more expensive ones. From the streets of Enugu State, I am Chidimma Ikeme, the Aneke TV. The Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, NSCDC, has charged its personnel to embrace capacity building and enhance efficiency and strengthen community trust, declaring open the 2025 Junior Staff Retreat in Enugu. State Commandant Dr. Elijah Willie, represented by Deputy Commandant Olarichi, said the exercise would boost professionalism and service delivery. He commended the Commandant General, Professor Ahmed Aidi, for prioritizing training across all cadres, noting that the initiative has improved staff performance nationwide.
This particular retreat, which is the 2025 Junior Staff Retreat, is packaged for the junior cadre of our personnel from levels 7 to 3. And the theme is capacity building and empowerment, keys to excellence in security service delivery. And it promises to be a game changer for all our participants.
Head of Administration Egwon Chinyere noted that the training would deepen participants' understanding of core NSCDC operations and urge them to take full advantage of the opportunity. Similarly, Head of Training DCC A.O. Ogbonna lauded the State Commandant for prioritizing the professional growth of junior officers, while the host officer, SC Valentine Onaga, described the retreat as a platform for personal development and encouraged participants to remain dedicated and open to learning.
Today, you will be impacted on a whole lot that pertains to NSCDC. To whom much is given, much is what expected. So on this day, I urge you, listen attentively. Adhere to all that will be impacted on you.
Let it not be that this training goes into 1 year and then goes out the other year. Let it be part of you.
I want to appreciate the State Commandant for coming out with this initiative and then to encourage us
to cool down and imbibe what will be taught today. So I want to encourage you and wish you a safe stay in Enugu South.
Over 300 junior officers from 37 divisions and 7 area commands are participating in the 2-day retreat themed Capacity Building and Empowerment, Keys to Excellence in Security Service Delivery. Aneke TV.
Hello everyone, welcome to another edition of Teens Fun Hub, coming your way on Aneke TV. At Teens Fun Hub, we discuss and dissect matters concerning teenagers, their lifestyle, their education, relationship, fears and challenges, name it all. We talk about all of them here at Teens Fun Hub. You're welcome once again to another edition this week. I hope you enjoyed the edition we brought to you last week. It was fully loaded, and this time around, we are coming in with another load of exciting entertainment. I need you to sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. I remain your host, your guide, your favorite auntie, Auntie Onyi. We'll be going over for a short break, and after that, we'll start in the engine. Sit back and enjoy. Welcome back. If you are just joining us, this is Teens Fun Hub on Aneke TV. Now we are on to the past heroes segments. Do you know your past heroes? Do you know their achievements? Do you know their contributions to the society? I want you to sit back and listen to Ifoma as she educates you about our past heroes. Welcome once again.
Thank you, Auntie Oyi. I'm very, very excited to be here. Hello viewer, my name is Ubi Foma and I'm going to take you on the segment Past Heroes and Their History. On today's segment, I'm going to talk about Oyeka Owenu. Oyeka Owenu was born on 31st January 1952 in Anambra State. Her family roots hails from Aro in the Izogu in Idato North, Imo State. Her father, an educator and a politician, died in a car accident when she was about 4 years. She was raised in Port Harcourt in Rivers State. Education. Oyeka Owenu obtained a bachelor's degree in International Relations and Communication from Wellesley College, Massachusetts, and a Master for Arts in Media Study from New School for Social Research in New York. Careers and achievements. Oyeka Owenu has a more sophisticated careers like acting, activism, music, public service, and broadcasting. These are her key accomplishments and her contribution. Music. Oyeka Owenu emerged as a significant figure in Nigeria in 1980s. These are some of her music that made her famous. One Love, You and I, Dancing in the Sun, For the Love of You, etc. She collaborated with King Sunny Ade, a major musician, on songs like Wait For Me and Choices, contributing to public health and social message. Her music often deals with social issues, human rights, children's welfare, HIV and AIDS awareness, peace and mutual coexistence, broadcasting and journalism. Oyeka Owenu worked for NTA, Nigerian Television Authority, as a reporter, newsreader, and a broadcaster. She wrote and presented the Nigerian document, A Squandering of Riches, in 1982. This documentary criticized corruption and governance issues in Nigeria. Acting and film. Oyeka Owenu acted in many Nollywood movies. These are some of her notable titles: Widow's Court, Half of a Yellow Moon, Rising Moon, Foreigner's God, Ijawele, and Lionheart. In 2016, Oyeka Owenu won an African Movie Academy Award for the Best Actress in a Supporting Role for Widow's Court, and she was nominated as the Best Actress in a leading role for Rising Moon. Public service and activism. Oyeka Owenu served as a chairperson for the Imo State Council for Arts and Culture. In 2013, she was appointed Executive Director and Chief Executive Officer of the National Center for Women Development in Abuja. Legacies and honor. Oyeka Owenu had a honorific MFR, Member of Order of Federal Republic of Nigeria. She is known for standing up for artists, and she earned a nickname, Elegant Stallion, because of her grace, her powers in many fields, and her great personality. Her songs are well loved, spanning generation, and she's considered a cultural icon in Nigeria and beyond. And death. Oyeka Owenu died on 30th July in 2024. She collapsed after performing at a birthday party in Lagos, and she was taken to Reddington Hospital, where she later died. On 30th of August 2024, she was buried privately as requested. And this is the end of my segment today. I hope you are thrilled by the information I gave you about Mrs. Oyeka Owenu. And now I'm going to hand over to the next segment, Entertainment G's. Over to you, Miss Princess.
Thank you, Ify. I hope you enjoyed the segment. Welcome. Hi viewer, my name is Annie Princess, and today I'll be taking you on Entertainment Gist. I will be telling you about Aneke, cause I guess you don't know much about her. Aneke, whose real name is Uchechi Okonkwo Treasure, is a very talented Nigerian child actress, teen model, brand influencer, entertainer, and I guess you don't also know that she's a gospel artist. Aneke started her acting career at a very young age and had featured in over 100 Nollywood movies. In 2024, Aneke won the Best Teen Actress Award at both the Nollywood Travel Film Festival and the Nollywood Film Investment Summit and Award. Aneke's rise to fame can be attributed to a couple of notable films like The Seven Rose, Good Doctor, Chifimo, and Aneke, and This Very Christmas, and most importantly, her early online presence. Before her acting breakthrough, she was already creating waves online by being a comedian in YouTube and also gaining popularity by creating covers of songs by artists like Mercy Chinwo and Chioma Jesus. Aneke's net worth is said to be around $50,000 to $70,000. Aneke's charming personality and dedication made her a beloved figure in Nigerian entertainment. I hope you enjoyed my gist for today. Be ready for another gist, same time next week, for another berekete gist of another teen celebrity. I'll be handing over to Antioyi.
Thank you so much, Princess, for that wonderful rendition. I actually learned so much from you today. I mean, I never really knew who Aneke was until today. Like, I never took my phone to browse who she is. But today, I can actually assure you that I've learned, at least if you ask me who is this lady, I can tell you who she is. Well, thank you so much for that. We really appreciate you. Now we are moving on to the next segment, which is the discussion segment. And today, we'll be dissecting something. We'll be discussing about something, a very important topic, a very crucial topic. I mean, today in Nigeria, we have a lot of complaining adults who complain bitterly. They complain bitterly about their past. I mean, any adult, some adults in their 50s and 60s today, when you ask them, what is your biggest regrets? What is your mistakes? If we rewind time now, what will you do? They will tell you, when I was so and so age, if I did this, I would have been happier. If I did this, I would have been happier. But come on, we can actually stop that at a very tender age. So today we are talking about something that is going to help you not to make the same mistakes the adults are making. Today we are talking about time management, and I hope you are ready to learn about time management. Joining me in the studio today are some vibrant and intelligent teenagers who will be teaching us by their experience what they know about time management. From my left, I have
Ofia Kalista.
You're welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
And next is
Ede Collins.
You're welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
And finally, we have You are welcome to the show. You are looking so bright and beautiful. I must commend.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Wow. Okay. So, you've heard what the topic is. It is a very important topic. I believe you confirm that too, right?
Yeah.
So, teenagers generally, they think they have not started life. But in this program, we want to tell them that once you are out of your mommy's belly, life has started for you. But the thing is, it's stage by stage. So, in the teenage stage, what we are looking out for is learning. I mean, there's a time you will get in life and the society will now be demanding from you. But if you're not fully prepared about this time or that season in your life, you will not really have anything much to give out to the society. So, I believe we understand that teenagers are supposed to be like, you're supposed to be getting in, you're supposed to be garbaging in at this stage. So, I want to ask the first question. I'll start with you. Okay, I'll start with you because you're very close to me. So, when did you realize that you need to start managing your time? When did it occur to you that you have to start managing your time?
Okay, I realized that I should manage my time properly during my last birthday. So on my birthday, I decided to have a rethink of how I've spent the past years of my life. And it occurred to me that I've wasted a whole lot of times doing irrelevant things, scrolling on the internet, having discussions that won't add any value to my life. And at that point, I just said to myself, girl, if you don't stop this, you're going to be useless. I just had to tell myself the truth. And on that day also, a memory flashed back to my mind. I remember something that happened in 2023. So 2023, my spiritual director took me to a graveyard and we went around, we had a little tour there, and he said, Kalista, here lies thousands of unused talents. And that really hits me. And I thought of how it would look if I go back to my creator without achieving the purpose which he created me for. And I knew that I can't achieve anything wasting time. I have to make proper use of my time if I want to be relevant to the society. So that was the point, my last birthday.
Wow.
Yeah.
My God. She said something that struck me. She said they went to the graveyard and he told you that a lot of talents are lying down here. Unused talents. So how do we now use talents? Like, that means if you don't start doing anything with your time, you will end up like them. I mean, that's a serious thing though, but it's actually so heartbreaking that it's not all teenagers that see this from your own light. Because I know of people that don't even think in this light at all. They don't even imagine it. Ah, my God. All right, thank you so much, Kalista.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. So, I think I'll still direct this question to you. Since you have realized that time management is essential, what have you started doing? What are the things, what are your strategies to, start managing your time? How are you going on with it?
Okay. When I realized that if I don't take proper use of my time, I would end up being useless, I started being intentional on how I spend my time. Every day I have a to-do list. Although when I started newly, I was not consistent. And another thing, I made the to-do list so complicated. I didn't make it realistic. So it was really tough for me. But when I realized that if I make this to-do list, if I reduce the tax I add there, I would achieve it. I would achieve everything that I wanted to do on that day. I started doing it, and there has been a whole lot of changes in my life.
Because I'm tempted to ask you, do you even have a
Interesting.
to-do list?
Ah.
Do you have a
I'm
to-do
a guy.
list?
I'm
You're
a guy. So you know, it's normal for us.
Not to have a to-do list.
The to-do list,
It's not for you.
my dear. If I get I know if you do.
It's not
You
for you.
understand?
Okay, so she said something like, having a list of things, unrealistic lists that she might never come to. Maybe she'll write something like, read for 8 hours.
Yeah, she's actually sincere. She's actually sincere by saying
read for 8
unrealistic.
hours. But actually, in real life, she's only studying for 2 hours.
1 hour. 1 hour.
So she might actually be studying for just 2 hours, and she'll write there because that is what she wants.
Yes.
That's the picture she wants. I mean, she's going somewhere, and she has seen that if I want to get to where I'm going to, it's 8 hours that will help me. But personally, I realized something. You don't start from the roof to build a house.
Yes.
You actually start from the ground level. You might start with that 1 hour. Before you know it, you're engrossed. 2 hours has passed. 3 hours has passed.
Yes.
And then that's how time goes. Alright, we'll be taking the next question. And that is you, Sir Collins. The way I'm looking at you, I don't know what to say, but I will reserve my comments. So, okay, before I ask this question, do you have a time thief in your life? Is there something you are doing, something you do, a person you used to talk to? Is there something that always takes your time away, and you will not even realize that time is passing, but you are busy doing that thing? Just, do you have?
Well, I won't say I have.
Oh, you don't have?
You get, because I once had,
Okay.
when all I had to do was go to Facebook, go to YouTube, go to X,
Social media.
the
That's
social media.
the
You
main
understand?
time tip.
So, but at a point, man, if you find money for important something, you know, see, my dear, no person will tell you, you have to work hard for something like this.
So
actually,
let me say this thing. This guy
you
is not
understand?
talking like a teenager.
So, you know, you have to see some certain things and, you know, put more interest on them than, you know, all this. You just go to social media and look at people that has already made their own life. You understand? So you now have to talk to yourself. You really have to talk to yourself, and then you see there are some irrelevant things you have to drop so as to be able to move forward in life. And that was what I did. So that's why I said I am not sure I really have such. You understand? So that's it.
So you said social media
Yes.
was
Yes,
your time
was.
tip.
It's not that I don't go there now, but
Yeah, I
the
get.
duration
I
of
get.
yes.
So currently, you have overcome.
Yes.
So how did you overcome it? Because I know some teenagers out there will be like, "Mommy too. Sometimes I'll just sit down, lie down. What am I doing? I'm just pressing my phone. I'm just pressing my phone." So how did you go on with it? Like, how did you escape from this distraction?
Okay. Maybe I should say it wasn't actually my fault. I didn't actually do it intentional. It just seemed like maybe it was something they thought it would be good for me. You understand? So those criminals, they actually dealt with me, but I am enjoying it now because I went somewhere and on coming back, my phone got stolen. You understand? And I was without the phone for like 2 years. You understand? So I had to forget anything about
Android.
Yes. And there was not even like the button phone. There was none for me. You understand? So I went into learning a skill. I'm actually a graphic designer. I entered the media field. So you see that there, like, it's that place isn't necessary. You understand? Because if you go there, I think it should be better to go there to find people you want to emulate, not just to go there and wallow away your time. You understand? So that was how it happened.
Okay, what about you, Blessing? How did you unwrap this distraction in your life? Because I know you have one. It could be that same social media, but don't tell me. I don't want to know your secrets. Tell me how you overcame the distraction.
Firstly, I said to myself, how did these people in social media, like, how did they just sit and just make a video and I'll sit down whole day and just while away my time and watch them? It's just like wasting my own time and listening to them making their own money out there. So I was like, a day, I just said to myself, it's better I just wake up and try doing things on my own, like try and make things that I can do. Like I started following my mom to work, because staying at home it's just like wasting your time, because you won't do anything at home. So I had to follow my mom to work. Going to work doesn't mean that I cannot press my phone there, but you know there is time for everything. You can't be working and be pressing your phone. It doesn't make sense. So I had to just focus my mind on one thing, that is to work. So at the end of the day, you realize that I didn't press a phone for like 2 hours, but I worked like 12 hours. Things like that. You know that it's overcoming it a little. So that is how I just realized that keeping all these social medias, because it's actually a burden, and oh god, it's actually something that really wasted my time a lot. So I feel like working and not being on my phone always, it's actually helped me a lot.
I must commend you. You said something that ministered to my spirit. She said, and I said to myself, just like the prodigal son, you came back to your senses. And you said that word kept coming to me. Immediately you released it. It was as if it was coming directly to me. And I believe we are now trying to say to ourselves, we're now trying to pick out those things, those time thieves that are taking away our time, our value, our resource. I know you are adjusting your life as you hear us say these things. All right, we'll move over to the next question. So, okay, this is something I used to do a lot of times, and I used to wonder. In fact, I'm not wondering. I know you people used to do it. You set alarm. You will set alarm, because I believe sometimes we don't really. It's as if it's not, when we are sleeping, we don't even remember that time is actually ticking.
Yes.
So you don't even want any distraction, because anything at that moment is distracting your sleep. You will set alarm, one name, Tetenora. You will wake up and you will snooze it and go back to sleep.
My alarm says wake up. You understand? But you know, that's feeling when, like, maybe you are having a dream, maybe when you are building a mansion, you know, something like that, and then the alarm is there, and I'll be like, hi, what the where is this coming? I'll just stand. I keep sleeping. You understand? So like the alarm, I don't even snooze. I tend to turn off my phone.
You will turn it.
Yeah.
I knew it. I knew there was something with you the moment I saw you. There was something odd with you. So okay, whenever you now snooze your alarm, let's say you just, you say you off your own. I used to snooze my own. I used to snooze my own. So anytime you off your alarm, how does the day now turn out? Because
to be honest, the day just feels like you wake up from the wrong side of the bed. You know, everything just
upside down.
There is nothing going the way it's meant to go. Like,
because the alarm was meant to start.
Yes, but once I turned it off, I disorganized my day.
It's like saying after A we have B, then C. But when you now turn off the alarm, you have removed A.
Yes,
and then you are starting with B.
Yes, and then shifting the C to E. You understand?
Okay, so how do you feel? I'll ask you this question. How do you feel? Because time is money. I believe that whoever said that thing had something else in mind. Yes. Maybe that person was trying to say something, but the closest thing he could relate time with was money. And I found out that it is true. Maybe time is not exactly money, but time is a currency. So, let's say you snoozed at your alarm and you were supposed to go for an event. You're supposed to go for an event. So, after, I'm actually guilty of this. So, as I'm talking to you, it's as if it's bouncing back at me. So, after you have snoozed your alarm and you get to that event. So, now we're not talking about how scattered your day has been because you turned off the alarm. You got there, let's say, late. You got to the event you were planning to go for, late. How does it feel? Now, hold on. You're going to tell me the different feelings you have when you come for an event. Like, let's say 5 minutes. Tell me about the fresh air, the ventilation you feel, and when you just rush in. See, I'm here for this program. Like, tell me the difference. I want to know.
Okay, I think I'll tell you a story. I have had that particular, how will I say it, like that feeling both when I was going to school and to a special event. That was meant to be my first time being someone's, at a wedding, the men on suits. You understand? So, but actually it didn't work out because I was really late. You understand? So the guy was now like, Collins, have fun. You don't want me to that. I was like, I came early now, and he said, take your time. Then, like, they were done with the mass, going for the reception when I came. You understand? So, he was actually disappointed, and at the same time, I wasn't happy because it would have been a pleasure, you understand, to be a man on suits for the guy. Then, on the other hand, the day I went to school late, because I actually slept early at night though. That's the funny part. And there's this dream. There are some dreams you have like this.
This one you're always talking about dream. I feel you like sleep.
Sometimes
I
enjoy it.
Try this. I think you said social media. I'm not sure it's social media that is your time.
No, wait.
Sleep.
Sleep is really it has really dealt with me, honestly. So, but when I got to school, after I was rushing actually because when I woke up I realized that so I tried to buckle up and then get to school. On getting to school, my first class has ended. And joining the second one, they were now like asking a question from the past one. And to be honest, sleep came again in the class.
I said it. I was right.
You understand? So trying to sleep again in the class and then asking the question, thinking I was there in the first class. Man, I disgraced my damn self inside the class. You understand? So, and you know that feeling when, like, you say something and everybody in the class laughs at you. You know that?
Yes,
you understand?
I do.
So, I think, well, let's stop here for now. Yeah.
All right, Kalista, what about you? You have any experience to share with us when you came late and versus when you came early, maybe 5 minutes?
Okay, when I was in school, I was a well-known late comer. I was known for that, actually. And it wasn't good at all. It got so bad that I couldn't go to school early, no matter the time I woke up, because it was already a part of me. And it was really bad. At a point, I was even praying about that. I said, look, what is this? So it doesn't give a good feeling at all. It doesn't give it. And at the point when they selected prefect during my set, I was given the post of a labor prefect. And you know what that means? I need to be coming on time. I'm the one that gives.
That was good.
Punishment.
That was good, trying to help your life.
To latecomers. At first, I couldn't still do it. Whenever I come to school, they're already catching latecomers. And as a prefect, I just walk past. Go into my class. But at a point, I decided to make a change. I said, no. I'm not giving a good example to my junior students. I have to change this. And I started waking up on time. I started, being fast during my church time. And that was how I overcame that, and I'm really excited about that. And the day I felt so good about that was when our English teacher, one day she came into the class and she was talking to the latecomers on that day, and she was not like, look at Ofia, she comes to school on time.
What a testimony.
So I was like, oh my God, is this possible? Is this possible? So yeah, that was it.
Wow. I was touched. I mean, I think it was God trying to bring you out of this dungeon of always coming to school late. And it actually worked. Anyway, we are gradually coming to an end of this segment. I believe you learned a lot from the experiences. But finally, we'll be asking this last question. The question is, from your experience, what is your advice to your fellow teenagers when it comes to the skill of time management, when it comes to time management? Blessing.
Okay, I would say that we should learn how to say no to some things, yes, because you will schedule things that you would do a day, and one of your friends will be like, "Hey man, let's just go out, will not take long. Let's just, go around and come back." You already know you have this time is for this and this time is for this. You just be like, okay, let me just give you 2 minutes, my dear. That 2 minutes, you spend more than an hour, and just to stroll along, just not like you just go out and go and come back. You have to be talking now, just, and you see, after doing those things, you realize that it's an hour, and for you to go back to that place, you see that you have things that you will not do very well. Then you just learn how to say no to some things. Yeah, I think that's well.
Learning how to say no. Thank you so much for that whole lesson. All right, Collins.
Okay. For instance, if you were to be given 24 sweets to use for a whole day, you have to share it. Some for your homework, some for your games, and maybe some for your friends when they come around to play with you. That should also be the same thing when you are given 24 hours. You have to manage it accordingly. The bad news is time waits for no one, and the good thing is you are the pilot of that time. It's you to handle the 24 hours, not the other way around. So if you reach your turn, my dear teenager out there, waste your time, you understand? But as for me, I'm trying as much as possible not to waste my time. From the words of Gege, he always says, had I known would be the last statement of a fool. So I wish that you teenagers out there, my fellow teenagers, you learn how to manage your time, because it would benefit you in the future. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Collins. Thank you so much. I love this piece of advice with a touch of sarcasm there.
Thank you.
All right, Calista.
Okay, one of the ways my advice to teenagers is to have self-control and also be disciplined. One of my major time thief, as you called it, wasn't social media. It was discussion, irrelevant discussion. I like talking. I just like discussing. I like talking, gossiping. It took most of my time. And sometimes I find myself discussing with people that I shouldn't discuss with, having conversations that I shouldn't have. And you know what the scripture says? The scripture says that when you discuss with fools, you become a fool too. So I wasn't just wasting my time, I was gradually becoming a fool. So when you waste your time, you are not just wasting the time, you are losing your values. Do you understand? Yes. So you have to be very intentional on how you spend your time. And time management is not just about the amount of work you do in a day. It's about achieving your goals and unlocking many potentials that you didn't know about. Thank you.
Wow. She said something. She loves talking. She's in the right place. Well, that brings this segment to an end. I believe you learned a lot from this segment. They taught you and they taught me, because I learned for myself. I mean, there are some things I'll start doing. These guys touched my soul today. Oh. They touched my soul. So in conclusion, I need you to know that success is a gradual process.
Yes.
It does not come by accident.
Yes.
Yes, you have a big dream of becoming a medical doctor, a lawyer, whatever that could be. You do not just start from maybe when you are 20 to start doing that. You start now. You start putting effort to your time. You start making good progress. So I want you to start now, to start building your life. Take your time seriously. Take your time seriously. Manage your time properly. Don't let it waste away. And I want you to finally remember, Rome was not built in a day. So that future will take time to mature. Until next time, I want you to sit back and enjoy the remaining segments we have on the show. Coming up next is the health tips. Health is wealth. Get ready for that session.
Thank you, Anthony, for handing over to me. Now I'm going to be taking you guys on the health tips segment. Today we're going to be discussing on tips to help you maintain a healthy relationship. So a lot of times when we talk about relationship, what comes to our mind is romantic partnership. But no, relationship encompasses far more than that. It includes family bonds, friendships, professional connections, and lots more. So, nurturing healthy relationships helps you to build your mental and emotional well-being. So, with higher chances, when you have a healthy relationship, the higher chances of peaceful coexistence and a sound mind. So now, before we dive into the tips to help you maintain a healthy relationship, I want to give you guys 4 characteristics, 4 guidelines to know when you are in or out of a healthy relationship. First, open communication. 2, mutual trust. 3, support. 4, empathy. These are the 4 outlines to know when you are in or out of a healthy relationship. Then we're moving over to the tips to help you maintain a healthy relationship. 1, effective communication. Communication is the foundation of every relationship. We must learn to engage in authentic discussions that will build trust and understanding. We must learn to listen actively and to express ourselves clearly. Secondly, tolerance and acceptance. We must learn to recognize that everyone has their own different perspective and opinions. So we must learn to respect and accept differences. By so doing, we will grow together. And finally, respect for boundaries. We must establish and respect individual boundaries. Avoid arguing on every detail and prioritize mutual understanding. When we respect each other's needs, then we can achieve more on personal levels and strengthen our relationship. Finally, having a healthy relationship has a significant impact on our mental well-being. When you have a healthy relationship, you will experience reduced stress, increased happiness, and a sense of belonging. A sound mind and body are closely linked, so we should make sure to engage in relationships that build us and help us to live well. So, until I come your way next time, I remain Miss Uguchinaza, Remember, health is wealth. Stay safe. Now, I'll be handing over to Anthony to take us on the remaining part of the show. Sit back and stay tuned. Bye.
Thank you so much, Chinaza, for that lovely health tip. I hope you learned so much from that. I hope you learned that the relationships, the people you have around you, can actually influence your health. Thank you so much once again for a segment that opens us to a whole new world that we never knew of. Just sit back and enjoy as Chidebube unravels the things we do not know of. Thank you.
Thank you, Auntie Oyi. Welcome, viewers. My name is Miss Chidebe, and I'm going to be taking you on the segment, Do You Know? I hope you enjoyed my last topic where I talked about a lake in Tanzania that can turn animals into statues. Now today, I'll be sharing an interesting one with you. Do you know that there's a type of fungus that can actually turn insects into zombies? Firstly, I would like to define what a fungus is. A fungus is an organism that obtains its nutrients
from the tiniest cells to the farthest galaxies. Life holds secrets we are only beginning to uncover. Why are we here? What connects us all? What unseen forces shape our destiny? Join Professor Jude Udenta as he explores the wonders, the questions, and the revelations that define existence. Mysteries of life, where every answer sparks a new discovery. Watch now on Aneke TV every Monday.
The soul is part of us that survives every storm. You can't see it, but you can feel it in silence, in longing, in every heartbeat that keeps going. It asks for more than food and fame. It hungers for meaning, for stillness, for the divine. The soul is where music is born, where peace begins, where truth hides. To care for your soul is the greatest act of self-love. For in the end, what we were fades, but what we are at our core remains.
And we are on the street today to find out what Nigerians think about some trending issues in the society. Please join us as they share their thoughts.
First of all, I'm not passionate about leaving the country per se, like the jackpot thing. For me, I want to actually stay in this country and then build myself. If I should go outside the country, it should be for vacation and to come back. Yeah. So I'm not really interested in the illegal part or whether it is legal.